Friday, October 27th, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So I want to look at the dollar today through the dollar index. The dollar has been rallying quite well since they hit a low just around 91 in the dollar index. Before I start though, just a quick rundown of the markets. It's 9:26 a.m. London. Spot gold 1267.20, up 35 cents. Range has been 1269 to 1265. The recent low was 1260.75. That was in the beginning of October, I think on the day of non-farm payroll. Spot silver 1672, down 5 cents. Range has been 1667 to 1684. So precious metals still weak. The Dow up 29, up 0.12%. And yesterday, after the market closed, Amazon came out with their results, and they're very good. And the NASDAQ actually jumped quite strongly, and it's still up here 1%, over 1%. The NASDAQ 100 futures at 6106, up 70. Yesterday, prior to the Amazon news, the NASDAQ actually finished down on the day, even though the Dow had a good day. S&P up 8.25. That's up 1/3%, at 25.67. The pound is continuing to drop here. We've had some news on retail sales. Retail sales employment dropped apparently to the lowest since 2009. So we're at 130.84, down 78 pips. We're down almost 2/3%, cable. Euro down 17 pips, or 0.15%. And the dollar back above 114 against the yen, 114.10, up 12. Range 114.32 to 113.96. Notice the bond markets since the day I made the video, we haven't really moved that much. 2-year yield still 1.62%. The 10-year at 2.46. Still well below that 263 level, which is a key resistance. Headlines, let's have a quick look. I mean, that major headline, in my opinion, was the fact that Trump blocked the full release of the JFK assassination records yesterday. They're supposed to all be out by midnight, 26th of October, according to an act of Congress. So basically, the law has been broken in the United States. To me, that shows lack of credibility in the U.S. System of government. Zero Hedge says Trump blocks full release of JFK assassination records after last-minute CIA push. And I read here a snippet from the article. During a call with reporters, White House officials explained that while some 2,800 JFK records will be released today, meaning yesterday, the publications of the remaining records has been postponed for 180 days to give agencies more time to figure out what they want redacted. Basically, they want to, it looks to me that these agencies, the CIA especially, and the FBI probably, were not expecting President Bush to release these documents. They've been caught, unprepared, because they've had 25 years to redact these documents, and they hadn't. So I think President Trump really surprised them with the decision to let them come out. What else? Billionaire Peter Thiel, he's the guy who co-founded, I think, or founded PayPal. He says Bitcoin's harder to mine than gold, has great potential. So that's another headline there. And now let's go to before I go to the dollar index, just to let you know, today at 1:30 p.m. London or 8:30 a.m. New York, we've got GDP data. So that's going to be a key number there for the markets and the currency. So let's look at the short-term picture in the dollar index. You can see, since the beginning of the year, the trend has been down in the dollar index. And I have to say right now, it looks like, we've broken a neckline of inverse head and shoulder. And we could, go further up. We could even go to around 96. The objective is even more. It could be 97 if you take the bottom of, that the inverse head to the neckline. That's about 3 points. So, and once you break the neckline, it's you add the 3 points to the 94 where the neckline is, and we get to 27. We also have the 38.2 retracement of the move we've seen this year. That's 95.91, which is around, roughly 96. So yeah, dollar index looking pretty good at the moment technically. Is it a long-term bottom, or is this more of a short-term, medium-term consolidation of a market that's going to continue to go down? Difficult to say at the moment, but the longer-term chart might give us a hint. This is the weekly longer-term chart going back 5 years, and as you can see, if you take the move from July, well, just before July 2014 to the high earlier this year, we came down 50% roughly there. At 91.01 was the low. The 50% retracement was 91.37, and we've bounced off that level. And 94.31, where we're fairly close to right now, is the 38.2 retracement of that big move. And as you can see, it looks like a rising wedge, which is basically normally a consolidation pattern of a longer-term trend. And the longer-term trend here, as you can see, is down. So is it just a consolidation and, building this rising wedge, and then we'll see the dollar come back down? Or is it a longer-term bottom? I think we'll find out probably in the next few weeks, and that's probably why gold and silver might remain still under pressure. Technically and in the short term, this doesn't take away from the fact that I still believe physical gold and silver are the best form of monetary insurance and the best form of being your own central bank. So that's the dollar index. So now we await for the GDP data to be released. That might move the dollar index. Fundamentally, we've seen the euro and the pound move down, and that's helped the dollar. Yesterday, the ECB announcement of the tapering was kind of dovish. They cut the amount of QE they're going to do from 60 billion to 30 billion, but they said that they could continue doing it after September 2018. They could continue to be doing QE, and the market took that as dovish, and that's why the euro dropped and the dollar went up. The pound, I guess all the trouble with this Brexit negotiation and the weakening UK economy is not helping it. I'll put a video up in the cards about the cycles in the dollar index and why I think we're now in like a longer term bear market for the dollar. But as a whole, for all currencies, all fiat currencies, they're all in a bear market in the long term against real assets and real monetary assets. And that means gold and silver. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And you can also follow me on Twitter and on steemit.com. I'll talk to you later. Bye.